Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second EU LiveSeeding webinar on boosting organic seeds and breeding entrepreneurship, the strategies for marketing and promoting organic seeds locally and effectively. My name is María Carrascosa. I am an agronomist specializing in agroecology and cultivated biodiversity. And I am part of the Secretariat of the Spanish City Network for Agroecology, an association of 30 Spanish municipalities. Our goal is to drive the development of municipal food policies that promote sustainable, healthy, diverse, fair, and local food systems. As I presented yesterday, this webinar is designed to support existing and emerging initiatives in the organic seeds and plant breeding sector by providing tools and insights to strengthen their marketing and communication strategies. This webinar showcases related live seeding outcomes and provides a platform for more than 10 already existing initiatives that will share their unique business proposals and experiences. These activities focus especially on small and medium-sized initiatives that produce and sell organic seeds and seedlings, and or that create materials through organic breeding, particularly for Arab crops and vegetables. You can receive news about all LiveSeeding activities in the LiveSeeding social media channels or by subscribing to our newsletter. I will paste into the chat the link to our LiveSeeding websites and also to the LiveSeeding stakeholder group in case you want to participate. Yesterday, we presented some insights of the organic seed and breeding sector in the EU. We talked about the current status of the regulatory review process for marketing plant reproductive material in Europe. We had an interactive session to identify challenges, needs, and solutions for better marketing and communication. And finally, we had a panel with SMEs to discuss models for organic seed and breeding businesses. Today, we will work on marketing and communication strategies to build a resilient organic seed and breeding sector. And we will analyze in depth the labels as tools to give visibility to organic seeds and breeding initiatives. Let's start with the first panel discussion, marketing and communication for resilient organic seeds and breeding businesses. The objective of this panel is to go deeper on those elements with the help of Ana María Coric, that will lead the panel. Ana María is the public relations manager of IPS, that is a LiveSeeding partner based in Croatia. And it's a consulting company specialized in agricultural and food processing sector. Thanks a lot, Ana María, and I give you the floor and the lead.
Thank you, Maria, for the introduction. Now I will share my presentation. Just a second. Now I will walk you through briefly with this general presentation to the importance of marketing, communication, and visibility for business success. And let's start by defining marketing. So marketing is usually often considered to be only advertising. It's only associated with advertising, but marketing is much more than that. It includes all those activities in creation, communication, and delivering your offerings to your customers. So it includes everything from market research, developing a strategy, advertising, building a brand, and so on. And I understand that for some small companies, marketing is not their core business, but it shouldn't be ignored, because effective marketing is that attracts your customers. By attracting your customers and engaging with them, you're building your brand. You're differentiating yourself from your competitors in the market. And in the end, all those elements will lead to a sustainable business growth. So yes, it is not a core business, but it is essential for business growth. Then we often use marketing and communication together. However, these are two different terms. To put it simply, marketing, the goal of marketing is to generate demand, while the goal of communication is to engage and inform. So marketing is focused on attracting customers, and communication is focused on building trust by delivering clear messages. So marketing sells your product, communication explains its value. You can see here different tactics that can be used for communication and marketing, but in real life scenarios, those two activities are interconnected, and in order to be successful, you have to use them both effectively. Now, let's be even more specific. When we talk about marketing activities, there are two approaches. There is outbound marketing and there is inbound marketing. It sounds a bit technical, but the explanation is quite simple. Outbound marketing is the traditional way, the old way, where company initiates the contact, where company is actively pushing their message to the audience, interrupting their flow of activity in order to draw their attention, whether they want to hear it or not. So it is TV ads, radio ads, billboards, pop-up ads, cold calling, and so on. On the other hand, we have inbound marketing, which is focused on pulling in audience that is interested. So earning their attention organically by offering them valuable content, whether it is something informative, educational, entertaining, emotional, whatever fulfills their needs. These type of activities include press releases, organic social media content, word of mouth, webinars, recommendations, and so on. So it is important to differentiate that outbound marketing activities will give you results right away. It's more costly, but you will get results right away. Inbound marketing is lower cost and it works long term. You will see the results in the long term. And I feel that in most cases, it's better to focus on inbound marketing and growing your business organically. Now, how do we organize all of these activities? Well, through a marketing strategy. It is a detailed plan that outlines what is your goal and what are your planned activities to achieve that goal. During the yesterday's meeting, there was much more talk about these segments of strategy. So I won't go in deep for all of this, but it is important that you know what do you want to achieve. So your goal has to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant. Then who is your audience? Do your research. What are their needs? What are their preferences? What are their pain points? How do you respond to their problems? What is your solution? What makes your product valuable? Why are you different than your competitors? This is your unique selling proposition, and it should be a clear and simple message. So the burden of communicating effectively, it's on you. If your audience doesn't understand you, you have to adjust your message to them. And it has to be clear why is it beneficial for them? Why should they care for that specific message? So that is maybe the challenging part when we craft communication strategies. And then, where is your ideal customer present? How do they get their information? Is it digital media? Is it traditional? Usually, it is a mix of both. And finally, your activities and your visual identity has to be uniform across all of these platforms and throughout this whole process. In that way, you build recognition, trust, you become credible, and in the long run, you build emotional connection. That is what is called a brand. And we already know that is something that you want to achieve in order to be competitive in the market. And then, again, I understand that in this sector, small businesses don't necessarily understand the value of working on your business visibility. You have your product, you have a great product or service, but that's not enough. People need to know about it. You're probably not the only one with a great product. Those who communicate better will stand out. And when you stand out, when people notice you, they have to trust you. And then they have to recognize you. And then they have to choose you over and over again. That is what is called business visibility. And it will help you to attract customers, partners, and funding. I would say that there are three key pillars of business visibility. So branding and message, stand out and be trusted. Position yourself clearly. What do you better than your competitors? Who are you? What is your story? Be consistent. Then, very important, be discoverable. You have to be present. More specifically, you have to be online present. So do you have a professional website? Is it optimized for search engine? Can your audience find the information on your site? Are you present on social media channels? Is your business on Google Businesses and other directories where people might look for this specific service or product? And finally, be active in the industry, do some outreach and networking. Meet the partners and customers in person, because people care about people. People care about faces behind the business. And in that way, you can build partnership and collaborations. And if possible, position yourself in the industry media. And this is how you form your engagement, your community, and again, your business visibility. This was very briefly, but maybe it was a lot of information. So if you're just starting with this, you might wonder how do you even start? So the good news is you don't have to implement all of this at once. So start small, focus on one or two channels where your audience is the most present. Define your goal very clearly, and you don't even have to have a big budget. General recommendation is that you start with 3 to 5%. And then you build up gradually. After that, you have to follow your metrics, because marketing is a process. What are your KPIs? What is the measurement of success for your specific business? Is it website traffic? Is it number of leads, number of meetings? You have to define those for yourself, and you have to follow those metrics. And of course, you have to be patient. Results will be visible only after 3 to 6 months even. And after that, you have to adjust, see what works and what doesn't. Don't lose your resources on doing marketing without a strategy, without plan, and without adjusting. Marketing should be sustainable for you, both in budget and in workload. So to conclude, visibility is essential for your business success. If people don't know you, they can't buy from you. But it's not just about selling, it's about positioning yourself where people can find you and choose you over your competitors. Start small, track your results, adjust. If marketing is taking up too much of your time, or if you see that you're not getting any results, maybe it's time to even seek for professional support. So that would be it from my side. And now I will give floor to Mariateresa.
Good morning. Thank you,
Morning.
Maria. I prepared short input related to the communication challenges specific to the topic of organic seed, and even more of organic breeding. So in general of cultivated agrobiodiversity. I hope that it works well to look at my screen.
Yeah, perfect.
So yes, an issue which I assume I can say many of us share is that we don't only want to sell a product. should it be the seeds or the varieties, we also want to promote a certain specific vision of agriculture, of a truly sustainable agriculture that can be achieved through the usage of these seeds or this special type of varieties. That's why we do encounter some communication or marketing challenges that also go a bit beyond the simple question of selling the seeds. In a way, we are all positioned, or most of the enterprises we are targeting are positioned in the organic sector. So first reflection is related to what in general motivates consumers to purchase organic as a basis, then to not only purchase organic, but organic that it's organic right from the start, so right from the seeds. And from recent studies on this topic, it's quite clear that the top reasons why people pick organic is health concerns. So really the majority of consumers that choose organic believe that organic food has health benefits. And the perception of increased quality and taste, and it comes just next the environmental and ecological reasons and motives. And when organic consumers are interviewed or asked what are the drivers for example, the possibility to, or the willingness to pay a bit more for something more from the food product, then locality is a major asset. So people really give value to local products, and the combination of a local plus organic currently is the message that more easily passes through. So if I associate organic plus local, then this generally is equal to valuable food, to which I might even invest a bit more than I would do for some other type of food. And the shopping environment also, normally people are more open to invest more in their food purchase when they buy directly in a farmer's market or in a CSA compared to when they buy in a grocery store or in a large type of retailers. Very specifically, there was one study back in 2022 on the motives to buy heirloom vegetable varieties. And there, the two main aspects were, they are in line with the general one for the organic purchase, so related to the taste and the potential health promoting properties. And when one tries to cluster the reasons behind the organic food purchase, then we have two major clusters. The one cluster, which is often the first type of motives, it's the one which is more, let's call it egoistic, in the sense of it's because it tastes better, it's because it has an additional nutritional value for me, it's because it is more healthy for the person who eats that. And then it comes the altruistic motives, which are, it is better for the environment, it promotes a more sustainable agriculture, it has additional benefits for society. For example, it is made with high social standard for the workers, for example. And we need to be aware of these two clusters, and also to be aware that often the first type comes together, or even with a stronger in a stronger way in the choice of consumers. When we go much more specifically on the communication of cultivated biodiversity, so the organic seeds of adapted varieties, the first challenge that we encounter, I'm very happy to hear if any of the organizations and people that will speak today have a different perception. But what I'm saying here, it comes from scientifically made survey at European, in few European countries. It is that basically the consumers really do not make the direct connection between cultivated diversity and their food choice. So if you ask the question, do you care about environmental protection? Yes. Do you care about sustainable agriculture? Yes. But then if you ask, does what you eat have an implication on that? This specific connection, it's basically not made. So people think that it's like more of an environment challenge related to the environmental part, but they don't make the connection with the diversity of the food that they eat. So additionally, very often the choice of variety, which makes the difference for us, it's really not the decisive factor when buying the products. And especially if it's processed products, it can pass through the message for the vegetables, for example, but it's much, much harder to pass such a message for more processed type of food. And there are many experiences in indicating, for example, the species name, or indicating the variety typology, or the variety, which have differentiated type of effect, because most of the consumers who will read this information don't really make the difference between species and varieties, and it is in some cases not very effective, this type of strategy. On the other side, for example, one could focus on communicating very specifically about the varieties name. So to make this message very strong and very visible, I don't know, for example, the apple pink lady. It has a very fancy name and it really sticks in your mind. Yet, there are cases also in order to promote land races or to promote organic varieties, but this can have a strong trade-off, because when people really get affectionated, maybe that's not a correct word, but when they get really linked to a certain name, then it's difficult to explain that breeding, it's a process, and it's a natural process for which over the time you improve and you get new varieties, and then they are going to get a new name, and then you might have made a very big campaign related to a name which in 5 years, in 7 years, it's not anymore the best that you can provide for your objectives. So to say, in a way, it would be better to try to make the differentiations of the varieties really mediated on the taste, on the appearance, on the consistency, which are things which is easier to explain to the consumers. I have here an example of a communication flyer we have recently produced, in which on one side we tried to pass the message that the juice from the open pollinated varieties of beetroot, it's exceptionally sweet and very tasty. I must say so, because exactly this glass of juice which is in the picture I drank just after making the picture. And on the other side, in the same flyer, we tried to catch the information related to the taste, and then provide also the information related to the positive environmental effects of these varieties, so their stronger climate resilience, for example, in time of drought. Next challenge is that, as I was saying, the consumers really are aware of the difference between the species and the varieties. So it is much better if one has divulgation material or explanation material, especially in the settings such as the markets, where people can also, when there can also be an exchange and information can pass better. Here, for example, I have a picture of a nice biodiversity market in Spain, where our flyer was also shown, and it's a nice occasion where in certain stands you can taste and buy food, and then you also have the possibility to learn about these issues. We want to communicate in a very complex situation. So, of course, there are reasons for land races conservation and dynamic use, yet we want to promote new sustainable organic breeding, so newly made organic heterogeneous material, newly made varieties, and there is also the issue that we want to communicate these many different messages in a situation where our interlocutor sometimes has hard time even to differentiate what is a variety or what is a cultivar. So when we try to pass these messages, we also have to step back and to step to the basics. So if we want to communicate about organic heterogeneous material and open pollinated varieties, it's worth to take the time, and in this case, the space in a flyer, to really explain what is diversity at crop level, at varieties level, and then introduce the populations and the open pollinated varieties. And in this case, also trying to, let's say, repeat or give the basic information before to go exactly to the specific land race or to the specific heterogeneous material that one wants to promote. We also have to be very aware that the topic of seed and breeding is generally difficult to separate from sustainable agriculture in general. So once a person is exposed and very interested to that, you have the feeling of, okay, I buy local, I buy organic, what else can I do? And in this case, the best we can do is to show how organic right from the start, the topic of seeds, the topic of the varieties really connects us to the basic principle of organic farming that we, or agroecological farming, that we can actually achieve better the values, respect better and achieve better the objectives of organic farming via taking care of the seed aspect, so to say. So, for example, try to connect what we do with the climate change adaptation or the local production, such as in this infographic with the heterogeneous populations of wheat, which can evolve differently in different environments. And the other aspect of which all of us in the sector are very aware is that there is a mismatch between the consumer expectation and the actual situation. So the consumer expects that if there is the organic label, it is organic. So the issue of the seed, of the use of the derogations, of non-treated conventional seed is very technical, and it's not, it can rather come like a shock that it's not like that than like a matter of fact. So there we rather have to try to use a positively framed message of what can be even done better, rather than let's say engage in a difficult explanation on how the current state exactly is. And of course, this has to be balanced to avoid to lose credibility. So of course, always in a fair and in a fair way, but try to show rather the way forward than what, the steps in between, so that we can, in a way, show how together we can actually empower agroecology and organic farming to get to truly sustainable farming systems, and always use the arguments of the seeds and the biodiversity in the more general frame of the food system of the future that we want. Yeah. I will be very happy actually to hear some of the feedbacks from the companies that will share their experience in the panel. Thanks.
Okay. And now we will have 4 companies, 4 initiatives presenting themselves. I will briefly introduce them. We have Stefan Deblin, founder of Living Seeds Sementes Vivas Portugal, president of non-profit plant breeding association Lebende Samen Living Seeds, and executive member of the association Demeter Portugal. Then we have Karl Vollenweider. He is an organic plant breeder and researcher, and represents the marketing and multiplication organization for organic varieties, Biosad GmbH. Sorry for mispronouncing anything. And we have Andrea Ghedina, plant breeder and co-founder of Smarties Bio, Italian seed company involved in niche crops, heirloom varieties, and biodiversity recovery. And finally, we have Sebastian Grimalt, is an agricultural engineer, and he has been working for almost 2 years in the Association of Local Varieties of Mallorca in Spain. So the floor is there.
Just to let you know, I will share the presentations in the order Ana Maria presents you, okay? I am going to share my screen. Do you see the full the presentation full mode?
Yes.
Okay.
I see.
So Stefan.
Maybe you switch to the next page. I want only to say some words to the company. I think we are more a younger company. We are now 9 years in business. It was an idea to set up in Southern Europe organic Demeter company for seeds. We started in 2015 and created from the scratch something. So we got 25 hectares for fields from the municipality, and also some buildings which we have to invest it into, to make it appropriate. But we have a 50 years leasing contract, which enables us to save a lot of money and to invest more in the operational business. When we started in Portugal, there was only 3 organic shops when we started, and now I think there are several hundred shops of organic shops in Portugal. Also, there were not many organic farmers 9 years ago, and now we have a lot of organic farmers created. And the ultimate is now we want to push the Demeter brand in Portugal, which is nearly non-existing. There are Demeter farmers and producers, but it's not like in Germany or Switzerland or Austria, where it's a big value. So we want to create this similar value also in this country, and I hope we will find also Demeter products coming to Portugal and then to market the brand with their productivity in the country. From the value chain, we are focused on vegetable, herbs, flowers, and legumes. We don't do cereals. We are happy to connect people with some cereal activities, but we don't do it ourselves. Secondly, we have the full value chain, also from R&D to the multiplication and so on. So that's packaging, commissioning, that's all done from ourselves. We are working in different, around on the Mediterranean area, in different locations to multiply the seeds from Egypt, Morocco, Portugal, Spain, southern France, a bit Turkey, and we have one exception. We have one cooperation partner in Poland, which is not on the Mediterranean, but that was by chance. All right. Regarding marketing, I think we have a good brand, Living Seeds, which is always translated then in the local language. Not always, but most of them. Also, for instance, in Portugal, it's called Sementes Vivas, or in Spain, Semillas Vivas. Also in France, Semences Vivantes. So that's our branding strategy. There's one exception. In Germany, we keep the brand Living Seeds because one customer wanted to have it. So we keep it as in English. From the funding point of view, it was mainly people, friends and family who invested into the company over time, and with only one institutional investor who has 10% of the shares. I think the rest we're doing in our conversation, isn't it?
Yes, thank you very much. We can switch now to Carl. The floor is yours, Carl.
Yeah. Thanks very much for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here, and I will gladly take the opportunity to present Biosaat GmbH, and you pronounced it perfectly, Anna Maria, as you can see. So I will focus very briefly on the mission, on the main challenge, and then on the outcomes and also the successes of Biosaat. Biosaat GmbH has a very long history, which dates back for 40 years, but it was only founded, this company, in 2020, so 4 years ago. The mission, the next slide, please, if possible. Sure. So first things first, the mission of Biosaat GmbH is to promote organically bred varieties, mainly of arable crops, and to bring seeds of these varieties to the market. So the special situation with Biosaat is that it has been established, and the company is also owned by organic breeding initiatives. So it is the 3 initiatives on the slide from Germany and Switzerland. And what you see on the slide are the breeding nurseries at Dottenfelderhof, the farm where we do our work. And it's really the breeders who drive the company, and the breeding stands behind. But the company is a seed company. So next slide, please. And it's an organic breeding company. And this has a main challenge, which is overlooked too often. Namely, for organic cereal varieties, mainly all steps of seed multiplication have to be conducted from the start under organic conditions. And usually that's viewed as an advantage, and it is, if you look at integrity. But for cereals, really the point is that it takes time to multiply the seed. So usually it's 3 to 4 years, and that's just due to the low multiplication factors for cereals. So from 1 grain, you usually get 15 under organic conditions. So it takes time. And it's also organized. That's almost the same in conventional. You have different steps: pre-basic, basic seed, certified seed in the end. But what does this mean? This means that for 3 or 4 years, you have to multiply under higher weed pressure. You have quite nasty diseases in cereals. One is on the picture. Seed-borne diseases, which you can't do much about apart from breeding. And it's quite difficult. And this means in reality, this means quite big economic challenges and also risk. Sometimes it's just difficult to do, apart from economics. It's difficult to do. And so we really had to work on this. It's non-trivial. I really want to emphasize this. It's non-trivial at all to do it in practice. You can do all the marketing if you want. If you don't have the seeds, it doesn't work. So next slide, please. So what did we do? We really had to establish a dedicated partner farm quite close to Frankfurt, and it's really specialized on the pre-basic seed multiplication. So that's one of the early multiplication steps. The earlier, the more important. And on this farm, we invested quite heavily in adapted cultivation systems. So one is on the left on the slide. It's a ridge planting cultivation, which has quite a few advantages when you clean the seed stocks and everything. We invested in special machinery. You see this on the right. So good seed cleaning equipment, but we really had to buy it secondhand because otherwise it's much too expensive for the organic sector. And now we have quite some success. So we market more than 2,000 tons of seeds in Germany per year. And our organic varieties, they grow now on more than 10,000 hectares. So this translates to a market share. These are just estimates and guesses, but of probably 10% in organic wheat and also in organic spelt in Germany. And still, we are interested to have some economic return, but that's really not the main point of our company. So we don't ask farmers for compulsory reseeding fees. We don't want to force them to pay us if they produce their own seed. And we developed partnership-based financing models, which are based on donations. And this is still under development. It's quite tricky to do, that they really get what's happening, the farmers, and that is our main marketing challenge, actually, for the time being. So thanks very much for your attention. And I'm looking forward to the discussion. Sure.
Great, Carl. Thank you very much. And now let's go to Andrea Gedina from Smarties to make this quick presentation in this first round. The floor is yours, Andrea.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the invitation. Let me tell you, first of all, that Smarties is a breeding company, was born as a breeding company. So we became a seed company as a necessary consequence to get some money from the work we did. At the beginning, the idea of Smarties was to provide genetics to other brands. And it was the way we were able to finance the project at the beginning of it. But after COVID, all the market changed. So we had to go on the market with our own brand. And also we had to find a way to go as far as possible, even if not in person. So we created an e-commerce website in order to be able to reach as much customer as possible. The other thing I want to say before starting is that me and my partner in business are both technicians. I am a plant breeder, and Luca, my partner, is a agronomist. So none of us has marketing experience or specific knowledge in what is the seed business, except the technical part of it. So we had to create a situation that could promote Smarties even if we are so small compared to the big companies. So next slide, please. We tried to promote our seed business through a food project in order to create the demand from the market of what we sell as seed, even if we are working with niche crops. We mainly work with leaf vegetables like heirloom Italian brassicas and all the varieties of chicory, radicchio, that is super popular in northern east of Italy, but even in other part of Italy is not so common, and it's considered as exotic in other European places or America or Australia. So next, please. We created the Gusto Italiano project, that means Italian taste, because all the horticultural heritage we already have in Italy is near to extinction due to modern hybrids that and modern market that ask for nice aspect of the vegetables and yields, but is no more considering the taste. That is super interesting from our point of view. Applying all our knowledges of genetics in order to offer really interesting varieties that can give satisfaction to the grower, but at the same way that respect the ancient ideotype. Next, please. Another important aspect is the quality of the seed. We are offering of these heirloom varieties high germination seed tested free from the main disease transmittable by seed. That is something different that the seed savers do. We are really thankful to all the seed savers because they permitted to these varieties to be still present nowadays, but the level of genetic and seed quality certified for nurseries we offer is one of the key of this project. Next, please. As I already said, this project that can be translated in selling seed is really connected with the culinary aspect, the intrinsic culinary value, so taste, flavor, and direct connection with original recipes, because all the recipes of tradition were probably created with that cabbage, for example, that was present 200 years ago, rather than modern hybrid cabbages that are excellent in terms of yields and behavior with disease, but it's something different from what we are looking for in terms of taste. Next, please. No, there was another one, but no problem. We missed it.
We've missed it.
Okay, no problem. It was the presentation of our last release in terms of publication. That was rather than a catalog of seed, our recipe book, in order to present the crop from the culinary point of view.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Andrea. And now let's go to the last initiative with Sebastián, that it's in the Balearic Island in Spain. The floor is yours, Sebastián.
Thank you. Well, the Association of Local Varieties is a non-profit. It was created in 2002 to promote and encourage the use of and conservation of local varieties, mainly of vegetables, legumes, cereals, and fruit trees from Mallorca. We did like the expansion in other islands, but it's too heavy to do it all, and there are little organizations in every island. You can go to the next slide. The multiplication project is the heart of the association, but it's not the main activity. We have other projects, and the seed production is not the main activity of the association, but it's an important part. Well, the project of multiplication aims to recover, multiply, and to publicize local varieties, allowing people to enjoy them. And it started in 2011, and we have currently about 90 local varieties of vegetables and legumes, and they are being multiplied in ecological management. Since we don't have like a plot, a private farm to do the seed, to produce them, we have 20 multipliers, as you can see. They are like farmers that multiply the varieties, and they do this task, and we pay them for the fruit or the seeds. These are the plots, as you can see on the left side. They are located in Mallorca mainly, and well, you can see an example of a plot. You can go to the next slide. When we receive the fruits or the seed, we do the extraction and cleaning part, as well as selection if it is necessary. And for this type or tasks, we have volunteers. They allow the project to continue because there is only one worker, so it's difficult to do all the tasks for 90 varieties, only one person. And well, an important part of the work is, as you can see, is manual and artisanal, but we always try to automate the processes. And for this reason, in recent years, we have proposed to acquire machinery for cleaning the seeds. Last year we were able to acquire through various grants 3 new machines: a sieve machine, the one on the left, another suction machine, which is in the middle, and a seed dryer on the right side. You can go to the next slide. Well, and the last part of the process is the envelope of the seeds, which is in the left part, and the commercialization. For the first part, we have an agreement with an association of people with mental health problems, and they put the seeds in little envelopes. And for the part of the sealing, we have an online store in our website. We also have 43 shops, as you can see on the right top side, that they sell our seeds. And we go also to some markets, as you can see in the bottom. And they allow us to make us known. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Sebastián. Yeah, just if you allow me, Sebastián, the dryer on the left, they got it from a match funding project that we organized within LiveSeeding. We are very happy to have done this work with them in order to get the dryer.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ana Maria, back to you
Yes.
to start the questions of the
Now
session.
it's time for our discussion. As you already know, all of you will have to answer 4 questions, 2 related to marketing and 2 related to communication. Each of you will have 2 minutes to answer the questions from each section. I will now share my presentation with questions just to make it easier for you. Just a second. Oh, I don't have the permission for sharing, but I can write down the question in the chat.
Done, Ana Maria. Go, you can do it
Done?
now. Yes, yes, sorry.
Great. Okay, do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so we have two questions from marketing segment, which I think we already explained the difference between marketing and communication. So the first question is, do you have a marketing strategy? And can you briefly tell us about it? And how do you measure the success of your campaigns? What metrics do you use? So you have 2 minutes to answer these questions in your preferred order. I don't think that it's important who goes first. So who of you has a marketing strategy? Stefan?
Yeah, I can answer. I think we have a marketing strategy,
Mhm.
but it can be always improved.
Mhm.
We have two important items. One is we're working very closely with other companies, so that can be also seed companies, but also very linked to the retail sector.
Mhm.
So we using the retail sector for two different things. First of all, we want to sell through the retail sector our seeds, but also we're using it as a communication element, you know, to contact the clients, the consumers. So we can build messages with them together, and also we have created an idea about from seeds to shelf. That means from the organic seeds and then going to the multiply of the seeds to the farmer who producing out of the seeds something to eat, and then goes into the shelf of the retailers. So that's to show the value chain, and we supporting this also with a QR code that people can, if they want, they can check who is part of this value chain.
Mhm.
That's
And-
maybe one
And
thing.
you said that there is room for improvement. What would you say is the key element that needs to be improved at the moment?
There are plenty of them, but you know, it's a bit we have not enough capital to improve the marketing strategy dramatically. So it's also always a question: how do we, you know, where do we invest in advertisement and so on, online, e-commerce? It's an important item. I would say we are definitely under invested in the whole e-commerce activity.
Mhm.
That's an
And
example.
the next question is, how do you measure the success of your campaigns?
We
What metrics
measure
do
only
you use?
by sales.
Buying sales, okay. The classic.
Classic.
Yeah. Okay, and then somebody else? Maybe Pan?
Yes, I can go for it. So a marketing strategy, I'm not sure whether we have one, but we are simple-minded people in a way. So we had a basic question which we didn't know the answer, namely, who are our customers? This sounds stupid that we don't know, but it's actually not so trivial in our case. So with us, it's special that we really mainly work with cereals and arable crops. So our customers, well, are not the end consumers. So that for sure are not directly our customers, it's the farmers. And farmers are different. That's lucky because because they pay more attention and know much more about some of the aspects, for instance, Mariateresa talked about. But even this is not quite true, because we sell basic seed as Biosat. So we sell actually an intermediate step. And there are intermediary companies in between us and the farmers, almost always. For maize, we do an exception, but almost always. But still, we market directly to the farmer, because these intermediate companies, they make no marketing for organic varieties. Specifically for organic varieties, they don't. So we have to do it. So we have, I would call this a strategy, because this we really learned. We buy a product, very basic seed, to our customers, but the marketing we really make directly to the farmers, or even, and there we could extend to the end consumer. I think that's quite specific for cereals and arable crops, but still. And so how we measure, yeah, that's similar to what Stefan said. It's by sales, but sales are non-trivial in cereals, because, you know, farmers can save their own seeds, and to learn how they do it and how much, and we want that they do it, it's quite difficult to actually know on how many hectares our varieties grow, how much seed saving do they do. Yeah, so my general recommendation is start with the simple question and learn that they are not so simple.
That is a good message, actually. Thank you, Carl. Now, if we could have Andrea.
Yes, I think that I already presented something during the speech I had. A quote of our strategy is market position. So we didn't choose tomato, for example. That is a crop really widely spread, and that every company can sell from their breeding or just buying the genetics. There's a lot of research of it, and everybody knows about it. So choosing heirloom brassicas and radicchio, we already choose our marketing strategy. Plus, what we try to transmit to our customers is that we don't only sell seed, but we sell our philosophy, that is seed and service. The crop that we sell are super difficult to be grown, and they need a lot of technical knowledge. So together with the seed, we offer consultant for free. We study the weather and the climate of the area of our customer, and we try to make a program with them, like seeding date, transplanting date, in order to get the wider harvesting window as possible. It takes time. It's time consuming. That means that it costs to us, but I think is the only way, sharing knowledge to promote our niche crops.
So you actually are doing a lot in terms of marketing strategy. And as I'm understanding this, well, there's only two of you who are doing this.
Yeah,
at the
correct.
moment.
Yeah, we are the two founders.
And that is feasible for you at the moment.
It's difficult. I mean, it's difficult to go to Greece, for example, to meet a new customer and understand his needings. of course, we are not doing that for micro farms. We are doing for customers that potentially can create a new market for us, or in places where we are not present directly, we do with a dealer that collect the growers. We try to create offline events in order to get online sales. So we go personally. We organize a small fair or a festival, probably with some tasting in order to better understand the culinary value of the crops. We communicate to our customer that we are physical person, we have a face, but with the goal of bringing people on the website to promote the online sales.
So that would be your key metric. That's how you measure the success.
We have all the data from the website, so we see usually a peak of visits after an event, or we work with a newsletter, and we see the success of the visit after sending the newsletter, or mainly things like that through social media. We try to have collaboration with influencer, agro influencer, and then we check the visits on the website, the ratio of conversion in sales compared to the visits and things like that.
That is very advanced, actually, and you're covering a lot of channels. So I believe it is a bit demanding for you, but
it is. I confirm.
Okay, and then I think that we can move on to the next two questions, which are related to communication efforts. So
Anna Maria, it's Sebastian, the last one.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sebastian, please, your 2 minutes. Sorry again.
Don't worry. Well, we don't have I think a written marketing strategy, but I think we know the type of customer who wants our product and the different ways to reach them. So we also know that our product is differentiated, has a differentiated quality, and is uniqueness. There's no one making this type of seeds in our region, and it makes it easier to sell it. I think that the best way is to have the points of sale, the stores where we have our seats, and also the different communication tools that we have, such as social media, newsletters. We also do training courses, and the markets help us to reach to customers. And recently we have tried to launch Google Ads campaigns, but I think like is not, it hasn't had the results that we expected. And well, we for the analyze of the results, we do a simple comparison of sales from other years in the same period and the one that we have to analyze.
So the key metric that you measure is sales, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that you don't have a marketing activities, you just don't have an outline strategy, as I understood. Yes. So if we don't have anything to add in this segment, we can move on to communication questions. Do you see it? Because my screen froze.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we see them.
Because I can hear you, but everything is frozen. Okay, so what communication channels are you using at the moment? And do you have any new channels that you're planning to use in the following year? So we can go in the same order. So
we're using it's very
Okay.
depending on the country. Also in Portugal, where is our main location, we're using TV, radio, all the let's say the typical public channels, which is not the good thing is we don't have to pay for it. They're coming to us regularly around every 4 weeks, and it's mainly driven also by the local politicians who supports us quite heavily in this point. So we have not only local channels but also national channels. In other countries, as you can imagine, we don't do this. It's very difficult. So we're using Google and the social media as channels for communication mainly. All right. The second, no, sorry, what was the second question?
I think we lost her.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I have.
Can you remember?
Yeah, no, I have them. Don't worry. Here,
I think it was about new plans for 2025.
New plans.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
All
I'm going
right.
to paste it in the chat, okay, to let you all of you know.
Yeah, okay. I think we have not a new plan. It's continuous using what we have already in mind, but one focus on the future is not only for next year, it's really the e-commerce. That's something we have to have in mind, and we need to invest. At the moment, we're investing mainly to make it more efficient, but not as a communication channel, make it better. That's what we're missing. That's a target.
Great. Thank you very much, Stefan. And what about you, Carl, in the company? Communication channels and the new you are planning for 2025 or even 2026?
Yes. So the communication is quite simple. It's just a website where all the varieties are, and it's very important that the information is updated, which is not trivial because information on varieties changes quickly and it has to be updated. And then we have a leaflet. So just one leaflet where all the varieties are in, and we print it, and also with the magazines for farmers. That's quite expensive to put them in there, but we do every autumn. And these are the main channels up to now. And so for the future, we would like to, so we have now more or less 80% employee at the company, and we want to have more personal communication, and of course also with the farmers. So consulting, as it was explained very well with the vegetables, and that is also required actually for cereals, because it's not as hard to grow, but still organic. And do there more, and also with these intermediary companies I mentioned, to do really marketing, personal marketing with them and across Europe. So we want to expand not just Germany, because at least France and Poland, the climate is quite similar, and we expand there. We are already there, but expanding is a good idea.
Great, thank you. Andrea, please, if you could share.
So yes, of course we have our website that is an e-commerce website, but you can find a lot of information in it. Also some guides to know how to cultivate some of the crops that we sell. Plus we have Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram, really active, with a couple or 3 posts per week. We have a newsletter that is sent weekly, So every week you can get an email with different topics, like presenting a product or some curiosity on Smarties philosophy or on crops again, or also a super simple email with a discount on a special product. For 2025, we would like to develop a blog session on the website in order to promote the storytelling and mainly to report about offline activities because they are not available for online customers. So to link the two markets, the goal of this year, we still have to start, even if it's already end of February, but the idea is to develop a blog session to report the offline activities.
Okay. And we have Sebastian.
Yeah. Well, we also use social media like Facebook or Instagram. Our website is also another communication channel. It's important. We are also planning, as Andrea, to do a blog section in our website for 2025. And well, we also send newsletters by email with different information about the seeds or any activities related with them. And finally, we occasionally appear in TV or radio in some programs.
So that is your
And
plan for the year.
sorry?
TV and radio is something that you already do, or is it planned?
No, we already do. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And do you plan on expanding on some new channels?
No, as I said, only the blog site on the website, but I think nothing else.
Okay, so thank you all for participating in this discussion. And now it's time actually for questions and answers. So feel free to ask any questions that you have for Maria and me or anyone else included.
Yeah, we already have some of them that I can share. If you have others, you can paste them in the chat or even raise your hands. We have some minutes for questions and answers to the speakers. So I would like to bring the reflection done by Frank Adams at the beginning. He raised the concept of nano enterprise for diversity. He also shared this yesterday, which are initiatives dealing with genetic diversity and on-farm development processes that are not micro enterprise, so less than 2 million euros turnover and less than 10 employees. And he was raising the question, which kind of actions could support these small initiatives that are semi-professional and that have a small turnover, justifying these needs, saying that no future seed company can start being professional in the first step, and that initial phases are crucial. I don't know if it's clear what I shared. I hope so. Yeah, if you could react on that. I can share the two other questions.
Could you write down the question one more time, since I was out of the meeting?
Yeah, I will, but it's a summary of 1 page of comments. But is this clear? I am looking at the speakers. Is this clear for you, the question? which kind of actions could be put in place to support nano initiatives to become stronger? Nano enterprises. Yeah, so less than 2 billion euros, less than 10 employees. Thinking that we need, Frank was sharing, we need those kind of initiatives that at the beginning are, let's say, weak, but then they can become stronger. So this is one question. The other question was in the chat, this was directly to Carl. What mechanisms are in place to prevent a failure in continue the adoption of your seeds, I guess, after an initial diffusion, particularly if there is a sudden drop in buyers, especially among farmers? George, I am going to share the 4 of them and then you react and then we will close, okay? Do you think that a nano commercial seed production organic company with no dominations on financial support from organic could survive financially? No, in relation to Frank's comment. And then the last question, this is not strictly linked to the issue, I think. How can you justify that your products are purely organic without any conventional influence, given the, let's say, to summarize, the world we are living in? Okay.
And Maria, sorry, there is an additional question at 10:39 from me, and I would need some help because I get the first question, which you already read, but there is an additional one, and this one I don't fully get.
From the same person?
From the same person.
Yeah. How can you justify that these products are purely organic without any conventional influence, given that most consumed food comes from conventional sources? For example, in Germany, organic waste, such as kitchen scraps, consists entirely of food items, but is not necessarily free from conventional fertilizers. I think that he or she is asking how to be purely organic if we are in a conventional world,
In a conventional setting. Yeah, thanks for the clarification.
Okay. So please jump in to react to those questions.
If you allow me, I would like to start because I have to leave. I like this idea of Frank, but I agree with Kostas. It's a very difficult task. So if there is initiatives, which is from people who are doing something with seeds, I always love it, and it's a passionate thing, and I agree to that. But the market is looking for aggregation. So maybe the initiatives could work jointly with seed companies to get an umbrella or something like that, have a more stable situation. And therefore, I would be, it's very, very appreciated, but I don't believe it's so easy to create out of a small thing, then suddenly becomes big. Can be not.
Yeah, I agree with you in that aspect that it is very challenging. It is maybe a more suitable question for yesterday's session on business models. So it is about finding the right business model for you. And I agree that if possible, try to grow through partnerships. But again, it is very challenging still.
Can I
just of course jump in?
Okay. As a general comment to these questions, I would like to say that breeders have to really care about their market. Most of the time, they are genius in genetics. They have golden hands. They are able to breed fantastic varieties, but they don't care about the second part of the process, that is what they did. They often don't care about growers. So my suggestion, in order to be able to go ahead with their project without a financial support, for example, is to be the engine of their own project. So put a lot of efforts in marketing, in talking with people, in creating events to promote their project and their varieties, because you can breed the best variety, and if you don't market it, you will never get money from that.
Thank you. That was actually something that we try to communicate to you with this webinar. And yes, I agree. Marketing at its core, it's not flashy advertising, especially not in this sector where your values are very important and your actions have to align with your values. And marketing at its core, it's about communication and connection, and that requires effort. So I don't know if you have any other questions.
Or maybe inputs to answer the questions I shared.
I can answer the last one. If we think that the nano-commercial seed production it can survive financially, and well, I have in our case we couldn't survive if we didn't have the financial support of the subsidies and so on. We have the volunteer help and so on, but if you have to pay for a person to work in the project, the project, well, in our case, it's not it can't survive financially.
Thank you, Sebastian. I don't know if maybe Cal, you can answer to the question and then we will close the session.
Sure. I tried my best to be very brief. So just to the nano enterprises, to my mind, it's just really, really important that we have independent companies with a lot of integrity, because there is really a lack for this. In cereals, there are almost none left. Even in Germany, the very few conventional medium seed companies are sold right now, so this year. And so we really need independent companies. That's, for me, the most important thing, really. And there I completely agree that breeders, we are the best example. We are really terrible at marketing, really bad. And we have to go in this direction. I also agree with this, just in order to survive. I mean, we survive almost everything with and without salary. We survived, but still, it's not sustainable in the long run. And to the specific questions with the farmers, that is an excellent question, which right now we are intensively working on. What happens if you diffuse a lot of seeds to farmers? That's mainly for cereals, where it's easy to multiply the seeds yourself. And then the market collapses. And it did for us in spelt, for instance. It just collapsed. And then the inflation came, the war came, the farmers had no money, and they stopped to buy organic seed. So for us, that was a huge problem. And we still don't know a good answer. We don't want to force farmers, we will never do, but what to do? And that's why we are setting up this partnership-based model, that we just try to explain to the farmers that it's important, that we don't survive. But it's really hard to explain them this, and that they would donate. What do you do with free riders? I don't know the answers to this. It's really difficult. I'm happy about any suggestions. And the second question about the integrity of the organic sector, that is really important as well. So we have to try to become better at really separate. I think the organic certification is quite good, but it can be improved. And with seeds, there's a huge lie. Organic products are from conventional seeds, almost all of them. And as Mariateresa explained, we have to confront this lie eventually, but we have to do it let's put it like this, gracefully, but how we will see.
Okay, thank you very much, Carl. I think that this last message is a very nice message to end this panel. Thank you to the moderator, Ana Maria, and then all the speakers. I think that this panel has been great. Thank you very much. And now let's have a rest, a 10 minutes rest. We will go later to the last panel where we will talk about labels as a tool for giving visibility. So please grab a coffee or a tea and come in 10 minutes. So 11:15 sharp to the last panel. Thanks again to all of you and see you in 10 minutes. Okay, so I hope you had a chance to rest or even make a call. Let's continue with the final part of today's program. It's a panel, as you know, on label strategies to enhance visibility. This panel will be just one thing. I will do this later. This panel, will be presented and moderated by Kostas Koutis, that it's a friend, but also executive director of Argilops. Kostas, thank you very much for being with us today, and the floor is yours to manage this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Well, last but not least is the session on label and visibility, as the label as the strategic tool for visibility on communication and management and of the organic seed sector and breeding. So in this issue, we will try to address this importance of a label as a tool, and me, and also my experienced speakers. We are with us, Philip Holzer from a Swiss organization Prospice Rara, Justin Lipke from Germany and the Bioverita organization, and Francesca Gori from Italian Rete Semerulari organization. We will try to speak about label and examples, and thanks to Teresa, we see a lot of communication challenges linked with the communication that faces the breeding sector and the organic sector. So the label is really a very important issue when we are speaking about the communication, and the label itself provides the information needed to verify the need, the quantity, and the amount of the seed we're trying to get into the market, and we are trying to reveal also the hidden quality that is behind this product. It's also really linked to the organic. So we have to help the consumer, the user, to understand the components of the product, of the seed, where that the user or the farmer is buying and wants to use. And we think that label will be a helpful tool to for the seed producers to allocate their product in the market. So we show all these challenges for the communications. Teresa had a very excellent presentation about the, for instance, that the choice of variety is not a decisive factor when buying fresh products, and even less when buying processed food items. It's very important. They cannot see the link and the connection between the agrobiodiversity and the food they eat with the seed, and this is very important. Important is the complexity of the topic and the multidimensionality of the topic, with all these diversity, varieties, cultivar type, new cultivars, land races, different approaches for organic varieties, organic heterogeneous material. All these are very complex. So there are many technical terms we have to explain. And when we're coming to the seed and to the organic seed, we have identified in the LiveSeeding also that it's very difficult for organic varieties to compete because the environment is not suitable. And also in the last session, we also revealed that the breeders themselves are not able or are not focused or are not experienced on communicating their seed and their products in the market. So is the label something that could revealed as a very strategical tool for communication? Can a label could explain or can have all this information about the exclusively breeding process or the organic, or can explain all steps that the seed have been processed before at organic conditions? Are the quality of the seed that is labeled under the principles of organic farmer? Are all the propagation steps under organic? So I think we need to see if the label is really an interface between breeding initiatives and trade. And here we have to address this question: can label as a strategical tool fulfill this mission? Under which conditions? And are there concrete examples? So today we have to see these questions, and so we will have analyzed a label evaluation matrix that is produced under Diversity Food project that gives some insights and some recommendations on the networks that they are managing biodiversity, how they can valorize biodiversity when they're coming to the market. And we will see how Prosperity Rara, the organization, have its trademark with the label. And also we will see the label BioVerita in Switzerland, and how they address these challenges. And also another example of organic heterogeneous material label being used in Italy. So we will have these speakers transmitting their these experiences, and we will have also after these presentations, we will use some 3 questions from the matrix about their product and about their credibility and trust with the stakeholders, and how also they intend to use to attract consumers' attentions. So I will invite to the floor Philip Holzer. That is, he's an agronomist and the plant division leader of Prosperity Rara. It's an organization from Switzerland, and who is responsible for the marketing project of his organization with the supermarket cooperatives. So, Philip, the floor is yours to explain the matrix with the Diversity Food, and also your strategy with your organization with the market.
Thank you, Kostas. So I share my screen to begin. The Diversity Food project was from 2015 to 2019. It was kind of a preceding project of this one, the LiveSeeding. And we worked there also on diverse food and diversity from conservation to the marketing, also on local networks. And in this project, we had this deliverable 5.3 together with Feeble. And the idea was to provide a communication and label concept for underutilized crops. And during the project, we soon came up with the idea, well, we cannot just have a role model and giving one concept and do it like this. So we rather had the result in this form of the matrix for valorization of products from biodiverse crops. So I will explain what it means. What's its goal? We want to help define and improve the valorization strategy for your biodiverse products. So you could have possible initial questions like, shall I create my own brand? Does my product have any chance on the market? Should my product just fit an existing label? And which communication tools do I need to use to attract consumers? The structure is like this. We invite you to evaluate 9 categories of topics. We go into deeper later. And in each category, there are several items proposed. And the idea is you can go through the checklist, get also background information from the deliverable 5.3. There's a lot of texts behind it. And then try to check at least one item per category fully for your product. And the idea is if you cannot do this, then maybe you have a lack in your valorization strategy. Also, you can mark then the importance of the checked items, because in some cases you have several items that fit your product, and then you might want to see, well, which ones are the most important for my product. And of course, it's a thought process. It could give you new ideas and let you improve on your strategy. It's not like a decision tree, like do it like this. It's really more like give some more ideas. And in this way, it is kind of also an addition to the presentation we had from Anna Maria this morning, and where we find also same ideas. So what categories and items does the frame consist of? We have 4 categories for product quality and ethics, and this is kind of your unique selling proposition. So it's about seed quality, your local genetic resources, but also we came up during the project more and more important, your ethics of production is important. You cannot ignore this anymore. It's just not, is it organic? You also need to respect people producing it. And of course, then the specific product quality we also heard this morning. And let's give me an example. We have this radish project in a LiveSeeding project where we have a patisserie breeding project going on. And we have our label, I present you later, but it might be an idea to maybe adapt for this special radish from this special project, our strategy. So what can I say about it? With support of small-scale farms and businesses is clearly the case here, because we know that this radish, even if we are breeding on it, it will never be for the big market. And maybe it's, anyway, this is a little bit our strategy as a whole of Prosvici rara. We have the rara in our name, so our products will always be a little bit rare and scarce. Then there are specific product quality, like special shape and special taste. It's really tasteful radish. And this category also let me think, well, maybe we could also hint on this special health quality of radish. I'm not sure there, and maybe we need to also to go into deeper if this radish is really also healthy or it's just radish as a whole. We will see. And yeah, the production need to be viable, and this is of course what we are working on it by breeding. Then there's a second cluster of categories, and this is the marketing context. So where are you living in? Where is your market, your network? Do you have a network that can support your marketings, which point of sale you want to go with your product? And then as a question will be also today, what about trust and credibility? Do you want really a label with a system and controls? Or is it just enough to have a good brand and some messages and you don't care if it's controlled or not? Also, who owns the label? Is it your organization, or is it like broader supported association maybe of farmers? And then which communication tools do you want to use? Again, our example, we have a network of farmers and we have seed producers and conservators that already help growing and breeding this radish. And now with this topic of a tasteful radish, we struggle a bit about having more and more chefs. We're working on it all the time, also during this last project, Diverse Food, also now, but it's still a struggle to get there. So we might want to expand our network there again. I don't know if we get there anytime. It's for local markets for sure, as for small scale exploitation, I told you, but then also it could be for gastronomy and maybe even for health food shops and specialist stores. We have our label with guidelines and control. It's established, we'll see later. But might be if we now head into new territory of breeding topic, maybe we could also have a good brand for this specific radish. Might be. Yes.
Ahora cuando toque, sí. Sí. Ahora cuando toque.
Oh, that's no question for me. Okay.
No, I am going to mute the person.
Okay. It's fine, thank you. And then about the communication tools, we have our website mainly where we promote our varieties, and actually we ourselves as an organization, we don't do marketing ourselves. We don't go into the market with the products. It's the farmers who should do it, who could use the label. And there I thought maybe we could just provide a bit more of information or tools to let them promote maybe this radish then, don't know, a little leaflet with the story behind it of the pre-breeding project. Okay, so I suppose you go check it out yourself in the Diversity Food Project website. There's this deliverable you can find with all the complete background information. And if you just want to see more, well, what is it again? You have a short introduction in this innovation fact sheet number 22. And then further reading also from Diverse Food might be interesting for you. There's, for example, the booklet 7. It gives you basically some of these ideas, some background of these ideas you find in the concept, and a little bit more easy accessible for the introduction. To get behind this, why is it important to have a valorization strategy for your products? And then also we here today have many examples, but there are even more examples in this innovation fact sheet number 8 of labels for underutilized crops. And I think that's also the worth of this webinar, that you will find a lot of ideas from other labels. And so, yeah, maybe this would be something to check out even more. Okay, so now to the case of the Prospecie rara label. It's a seal of quality, we call it. And this time I will show you especially the case of the supermarket product. Now, what do you think what this label basically is? We have at Prospeciar a big collection of many varieties. And what we're saying is that, of course, only few of these varieties will make it to the market. And you can criticize this. Well, it's only a few of the whole diversity, so it's nothing there. But we say no, it's totally cool if you have this product on the market, because this is a flagship product for all the diversity behind it. So we want to deliver this main message to people when they buy products with the label. And what is also a bit special with Prospeciar, we are constructed like this, that we have all the diversity you can imagine of used plants and animals. And we say this label is for all the things. And not only for special breed or special apples, it's really for the whole thing together. And I think it's a success factor of our label in Switzerland that if people know it once, for example, they see an apple and then suddenly they find it also on a milk product, then think, oh, okay, that's the same. Why it's the same? This is an apple. This is what's behind it, and then maybe they have a thought process of why is it important to have this label and this organization? So the key message of the label and what we really promise with the label is we have approved varieties according to our criteria and breeds. This is, for example, scarcity. These are not products you find on the big market. There's a history and other background information. You will find the criteria on our web page if you want to, but I'm afraid only in German, French, and Italian. And we have a reliable conservation work of high quality behind it. We also think we provide to the genetic diversity of agrosystems. And then always the important message again, if you consume this product, you will support also the conservation of this variety, but also of all the other varieties we have. So now we have 1,900 owners of the seal, and 600 of them are selling products on the market. That means we also give this label or this quality seal of quality to gardeners who just help us conserving the varieties, and is a kind of a thing to be proud of. It might be a difficulty sometimes because it's like coming from conservation and suddenly you go to the market and you have different ideas and concept behind it maybe. And with the help of the Coop, I would say we have now about a quarter of people constantly who knows the Prospeciar label in Switzerland. So what about trust and credibility? It's kind of like the same as with organic products. Every single point in the value chain has to say from which other people the products come, and they need to notificate where the sources are. And we don't have any production criteria like do it like organic and conventional, whatever. We only have say which varieties are you producing. But what we do is a kind of a market strategy. We say you get this label if you're either a conservator of PSR or if you are an organic farm. So conventional farms will only get the label if they help us conserve some varieties or animal breeds. And then for some years, we started also to have a really good label with a third-party certification. A long time we didn't have this, but we kind of were urged to it because we were afraid of a shitstorm when suddenly a label Czech organization Switzerland was in the media and told, well, the Prospiciora, they don't have controls and they don't have third-party certification and whatnot. And so we headed into it, and yeah, mixed feelings about it, because of course all the system also have some more costs, and somebody has to pay these costs for the label systems. So for the last minute, some few examples from the COP. I make it a bit faster. You see some impressions of products. We also try to have all the things. We are mainly present in the vegetable assortment, also some fruits and even ornamentals, and then some few animal products. Important also for the with the COP, they have garden centers, and then we can have the same varieties you'll find for eating, also find for seeding yourself, and that's quite cute. The Coop supermarket doing also some questionnaires, and this was interesting. They asked people, why do you buy Prospiciora products? And 1/3 of it is about taste. It's the blue circle here. And 1/3 is it's because it's organic production, and 1/3 it's because we want to help conserve old varieties. But only 7% would say, well, it's because they look fancy and whatnot. So we keep trying to say to Co, please take also some products with you that have a really exceptional taste, and not only the ones that look fancy, but it's not always easy. Yeah, there are some challenges if you want to try to promote a product that isn't that known, like the Saucify, for example. You need more communication marketing efforts. And the last slide is about this. So what we are doing there is there are some tastings in the supermarkets, and we have support of sales campaign on our own website from Prospiciora, and also in the Coop communication magazine and other communication channels. And yeah, the last slide is about the success factors I see. The label, of course, will give you at the very least one thing to make visible the products with the idea of Prospiciora. We would like to have more of visibility about what it is about the product, but the Coop will always say, no, the products need to sell themselves. You can have this label, but otherwise on the shelf, the products need to sell themselves. But the Coop supermarket, of course, and also the farmers, they can use the label for themselves. They help Prospiciora. And we see now that some specific varieties are associated strongly with our label, like, for example, the blue potatoes. If you say someone, do you know blue potatoes? They will say, oh yeah, this is the old variety from Prospiciora. And we offer specific product qualities, of course, as I told you, unique look, unique stories behind it. And the expected qualities behind it will always be unique taste, maybe, and support of a good cause. And then, of course, I think it's important that we do a co-labeling with organic label in the product. So that was it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Philip. It's really very important information, and thank you very much for the work you are doing in the Prospiciora, not only the conservation, but also the effort to put biodiversity in the market. So, and now we are going to BioVerita. It's the most well-known label for organic breed and seeds. And I invite Justin Lipke from BioVerita. Justin Lipke is based on Cologne, Germany, and she works for BioVerita as communications officer and project manager. Justin, thank you very much for being here. So, you can unmute yourself if you want. Thank you.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for the opportunity to present BioVerita as a label. BioVerita's motto is organic right from the start, from breeding to the final product. BioVerita is a non-profit organization founded in 2010 in Switzerland. We are very small. We are only 3 employees. And these 3, we are sharing 2 full-time positions approximately. Nevertheless, we unite almost all organic breeders in Europe, and also important organizations from organic farming are members in our organization. We define BioVerita as an interface between breeding initiatives and trade. And the overall goal of our work is to enhance the visibility of varieties from organic breeding. That means organic breeding means the varieties are reproducible, thus no hybrids, and the varieties have been bred from the beginning on organic land. We see BioVerita as a quality label. I think you might know that up to now there's no legal definition of organic breeding. This is why BioVerita certifies new varieties from organic breeding. Up to now, only vegetables and cereals. In the future, there will be also fruits. Perhaps already this year will be a new variety, apple variety from organic breeding. BioVerita has been given strict requirements for the breeding process, and there's a couple of breeding experts working very closely with us to approve new varieties, and that these varieties hit the strict requirements of breeding. As a result, BioVerita has its own variety lists, and there are almost 200 vegetable cultivars and 44 cereals approved by BioVerita so far. And you can find all these varieties on our website. Each variety has a short description in English, in German, and in French. And these descriptions are also linked to the seed trade, because it's important to say we, BioVerita, doesn't breed itself, and also don't sell any seeds either. This is why we work very closely with the seed trade, and you can see here the 3 main companies, seed companies, Sativa, Reinsaat, and Bingheimer Saatgut. They mainly act for the German-speaking countries, but they also send seeds to other countries. And all of them have a couple of BioVerita approved varieties in their assortment. Bingheimer Saatgut had the most amount of varieties, I think about 90 of the 200 at the moment. And the varieties are labeled with BioVerita on the seed packages, as you can see here, and also in the catalogs. Bingheimer Saatgut even has a proper display for retail, showing just BioVerita varieties. As we are very small, as I said, we nevertheless we try to gain a good visibility, and this is why we choose to work with organic wholesalers. This is the list of wholesalers we work with. BioPartner is based in Switzerland. The others are organic wholesalers in Germany. And BioVerta has been found in Switzerland, but actually our main work is in Germany. And how does it work in detail? In the beginning of a process, there's a wholesaler who is interested in our work, interested in boosting or supporting organic breeding. And then the wholesaler checks who of the vegetable suppliers already uses varieties from organic breeding or is interested in doing so. And then there's an agreement following BioVerta with the wholesaler, and we have also agreements with each supplier who joins us in our goals. And then these suppliers can use the label for the delivery of vegetables to the wholesaler. Part of the deal is also that BioVerta offers trainings both for the wholesalers, employees, and also for the suppliers. So next step, these varieties are then in stock at the wholesaler. The wholesaler shows the varieties in the product lists, and the shops, so the retail can order these varieties. This step we support with flyers, with communication, with texts for newsletters or for websites. And in the ideal case, but this is quite rare, this is quite rare that these varieties are also labeled with BioVerta in the shops, so that the consumer indicates, okay, this is something special. This is a variety from organic breeding. I like to buy it. So these are figures from 2023. Altogether, we work together with 13 market partners besides wholesalers I have shown. We also have cooperations with a couple of direct marketers, like gardeners or farmers. And in 2023, through these market partnerships, there were 57 different vegetable varieties from organic breeding and 17 cereal products in cultivation and trade. And in sum, 1,700 tons of BioVerta certified vegetables. I know this is not an incredible amount, but certainly we work on boost the amount and to find new partners to make organic breeding more visible. We, BioVerta, and also our partners see BioVerta as a unique selling point. The label identifies the benefits of organic breeding for farmers, retailers, and consumers. And I have already shown some seed packets, but the label is also used for other packaging in the catalogs or assortment lists on the invoices, for example, and also in information and advertising material. And here I show two examples. They are both from last summer. On the left side, an extract from a monthly magazine by one of the wholesalers. And there's a list of the varieties from organic breeding which have been in stock in this month. And in the middle, there's an advertising flyer from an organic food chain, Erdkorn, that had in July, 2 varieties from organic breeding in the supermarkets. And on the right, you can see one example of packaging, the flower packet with the BioVerita label. Yeah, I hope this information can give you some ideas how it can work. And if you are interested in learning more about us, or you can go to our website, and we do regular posts on Facebook and Instagram on the work, on our work of BioVerita's work, but also about the breeding projects, and we regularly present organic breeders to make them more visible as people. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Justine. It's very, very nice that you highlighted the remarkable power of the BioVerita label, and I think it was very useful. Now we are coming to the last example we have for today. It's the heterogeneous material label coming from Italy, and this will be presented from Francesca Gori, which is a project manager at the Rete Seme Rurali, an Italian NGO that deals with promoting agrobiodiversity from seeds and along the entire value chain, and is a partner of the LiveSeeding project. Francesca, please. Thank you very much for being here.
Okay, can you see my screen? Maybe not.
Yes, but not in the full mode. You can put it in the full mode.
Now? Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Me, yes.
Yeah, just but I see, Francesca, the two versions, the main slide and the presenter second one.
Okay, now
that's it.
Yeah,
good.
That's it. Good.
Thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Kostas, for introducing myself and for the opportunity to share the work that we have done so far, we as Rete Semi Rurali, on organic heterogeneous material label. This work is still in process, so it's not finished yet. So today I'm going to present you the whole process that leads to the development of organic heterogeneous material logo and label. Just to know what is the story behind of this label, all start in 2010 with the Soliban project, because Rete Semi Rurali was involved in this project. That was one of the first projects dealing with agrobiodiversity, and start in 2010 and last 4 years. And during this project, we start to work on population. Then in 2014, European Union introduced the temporary experimentation for population with some derogation with the commercialization of this population. And so Rete Semi Rurali continues to work during the Diversity Food project and LiveSeeding project, continues to work on population and to carry out research on population that our farmers started to grow and commercialize. Then the organic regulation and organic heterogeneous material regulation came into force. So we start to work from population to organic heterogeneous material. So this is the regulation that allows us to start to working on population. The temporary experiment start in 2014 and finish in 2018. So lasted 4 years. But our farmers, even if the temporary experiment has been closed, our farmer continues to commercialize the the population, because our Ministry of Agriculture gives the opportunity to continue to commercialize this population. Just an overview about the Italian population registered as of December 2018. As you can see, the population were registered in different regions, so Emilia-Romagna, Toscana, Umbria, different Italian region, and this was the result of the collaboration between different actors, so farmers, organic seed company and university, and so on. Okay, just a quickly overview of our population that we development in Tuscany and Sicily. The original evolutionary population came from Icardia in Syria. It came from Syria to Italy. And in Italy, it has been cultivated in 2 organic farmers, one in Tuscany and one in Sicily. And the results were two different populations, named Soliban Floridia in Tuscany and Soliban Lirosi in Sicily. What I've done first, as we develop, as the population was development through our informal and formal network of members and farmers, we thought that the traceability was very important. So we designed a map to trace all the seed flows among within the network and among farmers. So here you can see the map that trace of this material exchange and to have more a traceability system. Okay, in this slide, you can see the evolutionary population seed system. Also, the entire map of all the steps that we have done to notify and to notify the population, and this include also the rules that you can see in the right. And these rules involve the registration for experimental population seed marketing, the declaration of seed production area, and also the population quality and plant health inspection that in our case was done from CREA. So from the competent authorities. And after that, our farmer got the certification on population. So during this period, we developed a logo called the Soliban, has the project that I mentioned before. This logo, you can see this logo on the left of the slide, and we put this logo on both on the seeds and on the final product. And this logo was adapted by our farmers who cultivate the population and sell, and the final product was sold in the market. And this was a logo designed only for cereals. Here you can find a scientific article for who are interested in all this process from a scientific point of view. I can share this article later. Okay, after all this project that I mentioned, that I showed you, we arrived at the organic heterogeneous material label. When the regulation on heterogeneous organic heterogeneous material came into force, we decided to apply the whole process that I show you on organic heterogeneous material. So we developed a new version of the logo. a new version of the logo that you can see on the left. This is our new version, and this logo can be applied for different crops, for different plants and species, so not only for the cereals. And as you can see, we try to create a graphic easy to understand that gives the idea of diversity. You can see the name of the notifier that in our case are us, so that is Rete Semirurali, and the kind of material, so organic heterogeneous material. Okay, here you can find a second version of this logo, because this version was thinking for a logo that can be used for seeds. So in this, it should have the name of farmer producing seeds, the name of organic heterogeneous material, and the name of the species. But this logo is not yet implemented by our farmers, because they are still working on population. But from this year, we want to introduce the logo also on seeds. And this is what our packagings look like. On the left, you can see the seeds packaging with our logo. And on the right, you can see the rice that it's sold in the market. And as you can see below, you can find our label on organic heterogeneous material. This rice is selling in the alternative market, alternative value chain. Okay. Here you can see the story of our seeds, because the population and our seeds are the results of years of participatory research and participatory breeding. So for the reasons, the seeds are not protected by property rights, but we decide to develop an open source pledge that must be complied with if a farmers want to use these seeds. And what are the rights and obligations of this? The rights are the freedom to resow the grains seeds, freedom to share market the seeds, freedom to develop the organic heterogeneous materials, and the obligation are to not apply any property rights on the seeds and their developments, to use the same pledge in spreading the seeds, and to make available to the providers further development of the organic heterogeneous material. Okay, what are the next steps? As I said before, the process is still ongoing. So the next step, first of all, as a part of LiveSeeding project, we are looking into the possibility to use this logo at European level. So in this case, we need to define better the rules for using the logo in different contexts and different communities. At the same time, we would like to create a monetary system. So we would like to get monetary returns from the logo and from the value chains to be sustainable in the long term. So we need to identify the flow of money that could come back and from which part of the value chain. And to do this, we need to work with our members and our farmers to identify a strategy. And the third step, but also a challenge is how to maintain seed quality. So how can we develop a quality control system in which we are sure that the logo, the label guarantees the quality of the seeds. Yeah, this is all from my side.
Thank you very much, Francesca. I think it's a very concrete example how biodiversity would be in the shelf. And now, while all participants are invited to put their questions in the chat, I may pose 3 questions to the presenters linked with the matrix. Part of these questions have been already answered, but maybe we want to stress some points. The first question is, what are the obvious qualities of your products? The second is, how do you build trust and credibility with your stakeholders? And the third is, how do you intend to attract consumers' attention? So, Philip, do you want to respond to these questions more or
Yes, we
less?
can.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I told you that the obvious qualities are mainly this visually differentiation of the product that the supermarket also wants to have, because the products need to sell themselves. And but we also strongly aim at having good taste. It's also all the projects with breeding we do with all the varieties with a very good taste. And then about the trust and credibility with our stakeholders, I would say one important point is also that we are politically quite active. It's kind of like the Rete Semerale in Italy. I think by doing this, we have a very good base of donators who support us anyway, not only by consuming. And because of this, there is a strong community that will buy the products if they see them. And then, yeah, with the others, it's difficult to, in everyday use for the consumer to have the good messages. But I would say, as I told you, the taste is important, and I think the core message of there's a diversity behind this. This is getting there. And how we intend to attract consumers, I already told you. And what we do also is campaigns. We have the nice campaign doing now. We say it plant the rarity or something like this. I don't know in English. And in this campaign, we do a lot of small inputs with blog inputs, videos, where people can also show what they are planting in their own garden, and they see what others are doing. And so we are trying to be in exchange with the community. And by this, we have also a tool to have a link between the supermarket and this campaign and then our organization. That's about it, I would say.
Thank you very much. Justine? You must unmute yourself. Yeah. Thank you.
So about the quality of our products, I would say our main product is the idea of organic breeding. Yes, we promote the varieties from organic breeding, but it's rather to bring in mind how important organic breeding is in general, and most consumers haven't heard about it, and it's a completely new idea. So this is more important than the proper characteristics of the varieties, I would say. And the quality of BioVerita is that we are the only initiative or organization that promotes organic breeding on all stages of the value chain. So we certify the varieties. The label is on the seed packages and in the variety lists of the seed trade, but the label is also for the vegetables and also for processed products like the flour or juices. So I would say this is the quality of BioVerita. And second question, can you say it again?
How do you build trust and credibility with your stakeholders?
I would say the most important point is that we work for a good cause without earning any money. So the reason to certify the variety is not to earn money with it or to to promote organic breeding is not to earn any money with the licensed logo. So we really work to promote organic breeding as important fact for organic farming in general.
And how do you intend to use to attract consumers' attention?
Perhaps this is the biggest challenge for us. As we are that small, we can't do it on our own. We are really dependent on the involvement of our partners. We can only give examples or share texts or the idea, but we can't be ourselves in the shops every day. So
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Francesca, can you put some inputs?
Yes, regarding the first
questions.
Regarding the first question, as I mentioned before, we are in an initial phase with our label, so we don't have yet we don't have products with this logo in the conventional market, and we are in an experimental phase, and for the reasons we don't have a quality control system. So our label want to communicate the diversity, so the value of diversity and all the work and agricultural practice behind this diversity and behind the organic heterogeneous material. So this is the only quality that it's related to our label. Regarding the second question, the same. We are in an initial phase. So for now, this logo is used only by our farmers and within our network, and we build the trust during working on our network. We build the trust. So we have a base of trust between our network in which this logo is used. And regarding the third question, so how do you intend to use to attract consumer attention? We as Rete Semirurali don't want to talk about consumer, but about citicism. So we don't want to develop a label for products sold through the conventional value chain or for generic consumers, but we are focusing on alternative food network or alternative value chain. So we want to create a link with the citizens through our participatory events that we carry out in the territory. So like living lab, culinary breeding events, or participatory events that we organize on our territory. I don't know if it was clear.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of messages, and we thank you very much for this response to the questions. I think we all got the view that except the disadvantages and the challenges we face on communication, we have some strong weapons and values that we can rely, and the label can take advantage. These values are biodiversity, both the label of Prospice rara and heterogeneous material, and also in the BioVerita, it's the organic breeding. It's a value, it's a power. So it's a good reason to communicate these values. And also the advantages of the networking and the social interaction, because behind there is a movement. And also in the cases of the NGOs, there is a social interaction and networking, and the internal activities, that is participatory participation to the network. So all these coming bottom up, and this is a value and very strong, I think, tool for communication that label can also take advantage. And I think that credibility is built up on these values. And okay, a lot of other activities we can face and we can address and develop in the future. So there is a challenge there. We must work on the future on and take advantage of the label. So thank you very much for your feedback, and maybe we can take some questions from the chat, Maria.
Yeah, there are, I would say, 3 questions. We can make these 3 questions, at least it appears the very last one, and then we close. I can read them and you can react. So there is a question regarding, do your farmers using organic heterogeneous material or varieties that are not certified from the state are losing possible subsidies from the European Union? There is another, I will paste them. There is another question. Yeah, it's my question, in fact, is how do you see the development of a future organic breeding definition in the EU? And then the last question is, can organic products, we are talking about seeds and breeding, so can organic seeds and breeding adopt disruptive innovation instead of relying on premium pricing? How sensitive are consumers to such changes?
I can start with the first question because what relates to organic heterogeneous material. Can I start?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course, there is the possibility to lose the subsidies from EU, but if the varieties work and they reach to make profit, they may be willing to lose the additional contribution linked to the certified seeds.
And maybe if I can add on that, it is the specific contribution for the use of certified seed. This specific measure, of course, not the other cap measures or the basic one for the farm.
And if I am not wrong, this works for sunflower and not for the rest of the crops, at least in Spain. I don't know if in another European countries.
As far as I know, but I have to admit that I'm not fully updated. It's only for a list of specific crops, including some cereals, for which the ministry decided to implement this additional direct payment for the use of certified seed.
I have pasted the questions, so you can, in the chat, you can see them and react. Justine, you are muted.
Regarding the question if farmers are rewarded if they use varieties which are not registered by the state, for BioVerita, the BioVerita varieties, I can say that the request for being approved by BioVerita comes only when the variety is already registered by the official hierarchy. So there's no problem of registration. It's rather a problem of efficiency of the and to make money with the crops. And the other question regarding the official definition of organic breeding, I know that the umbrella organization or umbrella association of organic breeders in Germany, Dachverband für ökologische Pflanzenzüchtung, this association works on an official definition, and as I heard that it's on a good way, but we never know how long it does take to be amended to the EU regulation. But it's discussed, and there are propositions on the table.
Yes, Mariateresa?
Yes, maybe a small clarification regarding the issue of the seed. In some countries, they have implemented very specific direct payments regarding certified seed use. So, for example, for let's say durum wheat, you get this payment only if you buy certified seed from a seed company. If you do your own farm saved seed, then you don't get this specific direct payment. And the issue with the organic heterogeneous material, which are legally notified populations so they can legally be used by the farmers, is that maybe a farm used farm saved seed. But either that it is from a variety where you are allowed to do farm saved seed or from an heterogeneous population, if you use farm saved seed, you don't get this additional direct payment for the certified seed use. And I know that in several European countries, they have implemented such measures for certain key crops in the country. And in Italy, for sure, it includes some of the main cereal crops. Yeah, and it is actually very nice that the definition of organic breeding and organic varieties is included in the organic regulation, though, as Justina mentioned, it's not well specified. So it really needs still some additional specification. And at European level, the European Consortium of Organic Plant Breeding and the LiveSeeding project, they are collecting the input from the different actors. So the German association, as much as the other members of the European Consortium of Organic Plant Breeding, and together they are bringing these ideas to the European Commission and to the CPVO. And the proposal is now there, and now we have to see what the European Commission and the CPVO will make of these propositions that come from the organic sector.
Okay, is there any other reflection on this?
Yeah, it's just a comment saying that it's these subsidies, if you use only certified seeds for concrete crops, it's an indirect grant to enterprises, to seed enterprises.
Yes, this makes complex in the market, so you see it's not an easy path, an easy environment. So if there is no other reflections, we may wrap up.
Yeah, it is 12:28, so we said we were going to end at 12:30. So I think that we reached the end of the webinar. I believe we have conducted a deep analysis of different strategies and actions to enhance organic seed and breeding sector through sales and communication tools. We had more than 10 SMEs sharing their knowledge and experiences. We have been talking about the European context, both from the business perspective, organic seed and breeding, and the policy perspective. We have been talking about labels very, very in deep. So I think that the webinar has been very complete and comprehensive in the vision that we have shared. As we have been saying, we will be posting, we will upload, in the website, the recording of the webinar and the PowerPoint presentations, and we will also send an email to all participants with a link to those materials. Thank you very much for all the participants, the speakers, the moderators, and the collaborators. Thanks a lot. Next webinar will be in October 2025, and we will focus on finance and governance models. I think that it will be a very interesting and also useful webinar, and to present insights on these two topics. We will send to you news in the coming months regarding this webinar. And yeah, see you soon. Thank you very much, and have a nice day and week. Bye-bye.